Let's continue our story. Now if you remember, our hero has hitchhiked from the Algarve in Portugal all the way to the Dordogne in France without spending a single penny. He's now arrested and he's going to continue his quest.
Now you mustn't think of it as cheating that I'm getting to stay here halfway through this trip, because don't forget that last night I did stay in a bus shelter and the night before that I slept in the rain. And I'm not technically breaking any of the rules, this isn't costing me anything, I'm just staying at a mate's house. Just so happens my mates happen to own one of the best B&Bs in the whole of the Dordogne.
Et prenez bien vos aises, vos peines sur mon cœur, et vos pieds sur une chaise, je vous connais, milord, vous ne m'avez jamais vu, je ne suis qu'une fille du port.
Can I have a bit of a geeky moment? Now, I by no means compare this little challenge to Tolkien's epic quest, but you know when the hobbits first left Hobbiton, and they went through all that trouble, but then they got to Rivendell, and they could chill out for a while and have a bit of a recoup, and you kind of think to yourself, why would they ever leave, why would they carry on? But they knew they had this job at hand, and they had to finish it, and that's kind of how I feel now. Like, I'm in this place and it's absolutely beautiful and I'm being looked after, but at the end of the day I know I've got to get back to London, and ideally I'm going to do it without anybody touching my ring.
So for some idiotic reason I decided to leave the wonderful land of Sandy and Marshall's B&B, and now I'm back on the road. It's kind of, I'm halfway between Angoulême and Poitiers. I don't know what happened, but it was perfect blue skies when we were in the Dordogne at Sandy and Marshall's, and then as soon as we left the house basically the clouds rolled in. We've had a massive thunder and lightning storm and it was chucking it down. It's just started to clear now.
Allez, venez, milord, vous asseoir à ma table. Il fait si froid dehors, ici c'est confortable. Laissez-vous faire, milord, et prenez bien vos aises, vos peines sur mon cœur, et vos pieds sur une chaise. Je vous connais, milord, vous ne m'avez jamais vu, je ne suis qu'une fille du port.
To try and signal British cars so I can try and get a lift all the way home, I've written GB on my hands, right? A British car was just coming up, nice car, and you won't believe who it was. It was Tony Hart. I swear down, I know for a fact it was him.
Now at this point in the story, a lot of people question the mental stability of our gallant guy. Maybe he's been spending too much time on his own. You'll see what I mean in a minute, mate.
Now then, let's play a little game. It's called Guess Where I Slept Last Night. Okay? You know, sometimes you have an idea and instantly you know it's absolutely genius. That happened last night. So I'm just going to quickly show you around my sleeping quarters. Up here, it's kind of like a changing room where one can get changed. This is my bedroom. I did actually have an amazing night's sleep last night, partly because I've got this sleeping bag now, partly because I've got this sort of warmth, you know, emergency warmth thing. It kind of looks a bit like Superman's cot from the original film, but it's warm and that's what counts. So, have you figured it out yet? Have you figured it out yet? First the sleeping bag, woo! Then the tin.
Last night, I slept in a McDonald's activity play centre. Ah! Boom! The top of the tower was my changing room. That was my bedroom for the evening last night. And do you want to know what the best bit is? It actually comes with facilities. It's got a shoe rack. Obviously, if you want to use the bathroom, McDonald's just here, so you can do all that, brush your teeth, whatever. So since this morning when I left Le Mans at like 8 o'clock, 3 hours, I've gone about 60 kilometres and I just wasn't getting anywhere. And people just kept dropping me off in like the worst possible places. So one thing that I've definitely learned on this trip is that hitchhiking is so up and down. Like, you can make you feel really, really poo. Like that, or it can make you feel really, really good when random fun things happen, like the McDonald's thing last night. Basically what I've been doing is, I've kind of f***ed up a bit, I just keep moving around to different areas, and basically this is the one place that I've
kind of settled on, and there's just no cars on it at all. I've got no way of getting out of it, even if I did want to pay. And that's the other problem, is I'm pretty much running out of food now. I only took, stupidly, some leftovers from Sunday Marshes, and I didn't plan on an extra day.
Pas dans le cœur de quoi toujours aimer, et l'on verse des pleurs en voulant trop aimer. On croit être...
So it seems before I had forgotten the one and most important rule of hitching, and that's patience. It's just because I'm getting close to the end, and I really wanted to get all the way to Calais. I've just made what is hopefully going to be my last sign, for this country at least. What I had to do was stop. I just read my book for a while. I just stuck my thumb out when a car came, but I didn't worry about it. And it happened, and I just had to stop running around trying to find a better spot and just stick at it for a while.
Un jour on se réveille, ce n'est plus tout à fait le rayon de soleil qui vous embellissait.
It's dawn rising on what I'm desperately hoping is going to be the very last day. Oh God, touch wood. It's probably about 6 in the morning. Here's last night's accommodation. Not quite as glamorous as the McDonald's play centre, if you can call it glamorous.
And its ilk are rather catalysts.
So here we are, finally made it to Calais. I've got my first lift with an English person actually, just here. Very nice truck driver. I kind of approached him, forced him into it. It's actually a very nice place. I thought it'd be a bit industrial. It's quite nice. Look at this beautiful building behind me. Pretty starving. I've staved like a tiny bit of chilli left. I'm trying to hold it off as long as possible, in case it takes me a while to get on the ferry. Yeah, so as it turns out, the ferry crossing was probably the easiest hitch of them all. Like, just as soon as I figured out that it didn't cost any more for me to join another car, I just stopped a couple of cars. Some lovely Finnish ladies were happy for me to jump in. They were going somewhere else, so they just dropped me off on the other side. And then I managed to get a lift with a very nice man who's from my hometown, up in Whitchurch. And he took me up here to the M25. So now, I've just figured out I've had 39 lifts, so I just need one more lift to get me onto the tube. Anywhere on the London tube is where I'm finishing this, and that will be 40 lifts. Missed that one. That'll be 40 lifts, and the job will be done.
Yes! 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 You know it! Yes! Yes! Wait! Yes!
Come on! Well, quite. Sorry about the overexcited ending, but I am pleased to announce that in actual fact we have the devilishly handsome star of the story here today to tell us about some of his experiences.